Uh, what's up, guys? I just watched Pen stream, and I must say, my brain died a bit. I just can't. Oh my god, the animation is killing me. All right, let's get this started. Okay, 3, 2.
Hi, I'm Emmanuel Vaugier. The moves that you and your crew do in the game are meant to stay in the game. In the real world, drive safe, obey the laws of the road, and always wear your seatbelt.
Alright, welcome to another Need for Speed Carbon. This is part 2 of the story mode. Alright, career mode. So let me double check the setting real quick. Can play. How about the controls? Nose, left shift, clutch, first, second, reverse, activate rail group. Left shift, left control. Okay, good, all good. So let's continue. Alright, so we're gonna go to the world map. Let's go meet the Angie. Hello Pen, welcome to the stream. Nice stream, by the way, the initial D stream I mean. Oh my god, another duck. Ah! Why must you drift at this dangerous place? I don't wanna die, I don't wanna die! Woohoo! This is so scary! I want to drift so fast. Ah! No! No, 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 no! This is madness. Ah yeah! Ah yeah! Why though? No, 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 shit. Should I restart now? Yeah, I think I should. Restart. Who in the right mind live in this place? Maybe I should slow down a bit. I'm gonna play it safe this time. Too risky. It's too risky to go too fast. So we're gonna play it safe. Oh shit. I'm second place now. Wait, slow down a bit. Hey, what the hell? 26. Ah, so close. Shit. Alright, so I have to slow down a bit more. Alright, multiplayer 4. Nice one. Oh, no, 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 no. Alright, 27. Woohoo! Alright, so we can end this. Yes! You have unlocked Hood's package 3. Alright, no need.
Yeah, I heard you were in town. Go back where you came from.
Alright, so let's change our car. We're gonna jump to our safe house. Switch to car to this DB9. How about that? Yeah. But before that, we're gonna customize a bit. Transmission Pro package. Suspension, brace package, tire, yeah. Alright, so and then we remove all the visual stuff. Remove layer. And then we're gonna use the paint. Because black car, why not? Yep. Okay. We'll pay Mindochin right high. Nani? Okay, that's it. So rice. Okay, so let's continue to the world map. Let's win this one. Speed trap or checkpoint. I think checkpoint should be okay. Okay. 5 checkpoint. Alright, let's do this. Oh, yeah, another shortcut. This shortcut reminds me of the first Underground series. Okay, smooth. Alright, first checkpoint. Let's go. First one, alright. Aya, too fast. Okay, steady. So the Aston Martin is the car for James Bond. That's something that maybe you need to know. Cool, nice one. Okay, so another one. Okay, cool. Okay. Oh, is there a shortcut over here? I'm out of nose. Alright, I should be more careful. Oh, I missed another shortcut. Okay, nice one. I don't know how they count the time for this. The car look a bit wide, don't you think? Man. Alright. Where is it? Hey, I missed another shortcut. Cool. Time bonus. Hey, stay away from me. This is Wolf car, don't you know? So let's try if I can get Angie's car after this. Then we're gonna complete our neat little collection. And then we try to take the Darius car as well. What's that? Shortcut? No. Two more checkpoint. Ah, thank you. At least the control for this game is not as horrible as the Initial D special stage. So just now I watched a stream from Pen, and I don't know why I played that game on the during that time. Now name, yes, I have a job. I stream on the night and work during the daytime. Alright, first territory. Alright, continue. So another one is circuit or speed trap. Let's go for sprint. So I'm taking the least amount of time to complete. After this I'm gonna focus on live streaming full time, but I still need a lot of things to plan for that. Whoa. Wait for me, Yumi, wait for me! Don't go too fast. We are crew. We are same crew. Oh, so this is a new place.
Okay, well, just catch the next one.
Where's the shortcut? Alright.
Nice, where you go?
Hey! Ay caramba!
They're on the right. See 'em on the right side.
Right side? Nani? Where is it? Where is it, Yumi? Where's the shortcut? Damn it!
Okay, we're gonna duck through right up here.
Is this a shortcut? Oh yeah, thank you. Alright.
Take that lead, it's yours.
Thank you, Yumi. So each car have their own tiers. Oh no, Yumi, no. Why you take my victory?
I love racing, I love it.
You have unlocked spoilers. Do we have spoilers? No, I don't have. Okay, so another one is speed trap. Because I want to know all the shortcuts in this game. Hey, welcome PJ Serena.
We got this one.
Alright, move. So we're gonna alter. Oh yeah. We haven't given name to this Aston Martin yet, so I leave that to you guys. What should we name this Aston Martin DB9?
Oh yeah, get it.
Oh, that's savage, man. Alright, this is a shortcut here.
Yeah, just stay left. Hey there, where'd you go? Hey, left, see ya? See one on the left.
Okay, nice.
See you next time, okay?
So you press the nose when you're about to reach the checkpoint. Come on, turn, baby, turn. Alright, nice.
You got it, you got it.
Come on, Yumi, keep up. Alright, last one.
They never had a chance.
Marty. Okay, we're gonna name our Aston Martin Marty. Thank you, Pen. Alright, let's put some spoilers to this car. What Mustang GT? How about that? Marion. Savage Martin.
You think you're making a name for yourself? Keep racing through my territory and I'll waste you and your reputation.
No need. Let's go to the safe house and install some spoilers. Customization, aftermarket. Spoiler, alright. Let's find some rice spoiler. Bora. Goose. Nice one, very rice. I think I'm gonna stick with this. Alright. Alright, let's go to the world map. Next is checkpoint, circuit, and sprint. We go checkpoint first. Marty. Does Marty sound like a rich name? Does Marty McFly sounds like a rich name? Alright, time bonus. Okay. I'm gonna spam all the speed breaker here. Spam it all the way. What is the swag boys doing in the background? That's not my soundtrack. Okay. Whoa, 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 no, no. Close, but no cigars. And I missed another shortcut. Damn it! Fuck! I'm gonna miss a lot of speed there. Marina. Alright, Marina is a good name. Okay, Marina. Show us what you got. Woohoo! Marina or Marian? Come on guys, make up your mind. Stripe vinyls, okay. This one is circuit sprint.
We're gonna do.
There's gonna be a lot of swearing in this stream. I can feel it. I'm gonna swear a lot. Should I make this stream with age restriction? You must be at least 18 years old to watch this stream. No, I don't see this the shortcut near me. Sorry about that. Oh, it won't grip. Oh shit.
Behind you, he's right there.
No.
Focus on the finish line.
Okay, thank you for the reminder, Yumi. Yay! Alright.
Oh, you're moving down.
Hey Ash, welcome to the stream, man. Sorry, didn't need to see you back there. Oh.
Watch it left, between
63%. Come on, Marian, come on. Wish. Damn you, cross.
Alpine District be advised. A Code 6 party was just reported heading southbound. I need units to clear and head up.
Is that a Corvette? Looks like a Corvette. Ooh, so close.
You're doing great. Pass this guy, it's yours.
No, that's an R7, not Corvette.
Oh, we had him from the beginning.
Family mode on. Okay, family mode on. Volkswagen Golf R32. Nope. So next one is sprint, speed trap, and drift. We go for sprint. Alright, what you gonna do? So, in Need for Speed Carbon, the gameplay is pretty quick because for several reasons. There's no drag, because you know how I hate drag. And then you can straight jump to the races like Most Wanted. And then of course, even though you have 3 bosses, the territory is pretty much very small. It's not as big as the Rockport per se, but still, it's still an enjoyable game. Oh. Where are you going? Where's the shortcut, Yumi? Oh, Yumi, what are you doing? Okay, Yumi crash. Come on, Marian. Upgrade the RX-7. Yeah, okay, why not? RX-7 is good for the canyon run after this.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, did I lose you?
Push. Oh, no! Alright, I'm gonna do this. No!
Wait a minute, we didn't win?
My bad.
Alright, that's it.
This one is Aston Martin DB9. It's featured in the James Bond series. Let me think, which story is that? Casino Royale? Yeah, I think Casino Royale. Or was it another one? Let's stab Yumi's ass! Yeah, Yumi.
Watch your side.
Let's try some shortcut. Where is it? It's hard to see the shortcut actually.
Yeah, you're in first place.
What the hell? This is Lotus Elise. Okay.
Nice, way to go.
Alright.
Hey, there's an alley up ahead on the left. This better work. That was close.
But this car is good. It have very nice top speed, but it's hard to, you know, take the cornering. I'm struggling with the handling actually.
He's behind you. He's trying to pass on the right. Hold on, just a little further.
Yeah.
Hope everyone was watching that.
Alright, you have unlocked wheel package. Alright.
Oh, come on, that's it. Yeah, drive it all the way.
This one is speed trap. No cheat, man. I'm gonna play fair and square.
We got this one.
Ben, can you check on the Discord, please?
Yeah, there it is. It's up ahead.
Alright.
Nice. Now stay in front of them.
Another one. Just 2 more territory and NG is ours. Alright, cool. Nice speed there. Yes. I'm struggling with the handling. It's fast, but the handling. Oh, the handling is killing me. Alright, another speed trap. Nani, you miss faster than me.
Gotta keep this lead. Stay left.
Alright. We need a speed breaker here. And a little bit.
Attention Channel 2. We've reported a vehicle moving at a high rate of speed heading westbound, requesting all available units to attend. Vehicle is a black Aston Martin.
Why don't you just get a real car?
Whoa. 3 more speed trap. Alright.
I see an alley on the right. We can use that.
Oh, I miss it.
No. Okay, I'll catch up. Alright, big
Why is Yumi green? I don't know. I'm running the game on Windows 7
Keep going.
and my computer is super shitty. That's why I have to lower the graphic and everything to make it. Alright.
Too easy.
Yeah, it's officially the biggest midget in the game. I don't know.
Okay, continue. So another territory. Sprint and speed trap. Alright. Yes, I want to ask how you get the AE86 in carbon. Is it possible?
Stick close to me. This will be easy.
Just leave it, man. Yeah, I'm a noob. I acknowledge that.
Say it again like that.
If I'm a noob, maybe I should become a pro gamer. Pro gamer, no? But no, I'm just stream for fun.
Yeah. Up ahead on the left.
And I don't want to be a programmer or anything. It's too stressful. Yumi. Should I change car?
Behind you, don't let him by.
Maybe it's Mitsubishi or anything.
Coming up. Watch it, left.
How old am I? I'm 36. I'm very old. Thank you. 51%. Alright.
Nice, nice. Gotta keep this lead. You got it, you got it.
Come on, come on, come on.
Take that lead, it's yours.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we totally embarrassed them.
Okay, so next one. Alright. Last one, and then NG is ours. 35 minutes, that was pretty fast. Yeah.
Get out of front early.
Yeah, I'm an uncle.
Right, that pit, that pit. Okay, on the right side,
Hiya.
right side.
Alright, I lose a lot of speed there. Damn it. Where's the nose? Okay.
Nice, you can get back in this. Just keep that speed up.
Why is the screen shaking?
Right up here.
Why is the screen shaking?
What happened?
Yeah, you mean what happened?
Alright, it's your turn. Lead us to a win, huh?
Alright. Okay, cool.
Punch it, punch it.
Beat the game on 100%, you mean with all the challenge series and all?
I love racing. I love it.
15,000%. Yes, Ultra 3.
All of that don't mean a thing to me. Right, man, I've got contingencies. Right now, I'm enjoying my life and got beats to play. Yo.
I'm tired of watching you. It's about time we did this. You want Kempton? Come get it. You gotta beat me in the city, and then I'll take you on in the canyon.
Alright, let's
Do it. You can take us all the way.
Going for it now.
alright, let's change it to R7. Flaming, please. Alright, RS8, RS7, okay. Customization. Right. Pro package, tires, nitrous, suspension, cool. Engine, yes, finally. Alright, let's challenge NG.
You should have stayed away. Whatever anyone thought of you then, there's not gonna be any doubt now.
Alright, it's second race, 2 laps. I see shortcut. I take it. Alright Rex, this is for you. If I win this, you can celebrate all you want. And yeah, on the second stream we already defeated Kenji Bushido, Wolf, and now we are racing against NG. That was very short career. And why you call it career? It's not like we make a living with this game. Oh, the suspension is good. Nice one. Yeah, I'm gonna defeat you with Kenji Bushido's car. How about that? Sorry, I can't reply all the comment messages. It's gonna be distract. I'm gonna get distracted, so I have to focus for now. Hang on. You hear that? Alright, there's a shortcut there. I'll take it after this. Okay, and just taking the shortcut. Alright, another lap. Come on, NG, come on. Yeah, NG, she's ugly, yeah. That's what I thought too. But when you play the console version, maybe PS2 version, you can't see her face. Look at her face. Oh, the bot is still there. Okay. Thank you, bot. Ha! She's crashed. Pay attention on the road, baby. What the fuck is that? That is so weird and creepy as fuck. Alright, shortcut time. Right, no mistakes. Okay, Canyon Duel.
You're done, punk.
Alright, let's wreck her in Canyon. Okay, I'm gonna try to overtake here on the first run. Let's try. Oh shit. Try again. Oh shit! Why? What are you doing, Rex? rats, come on, overtake her. Push her to the canyon. Alright, nice one. Shit. Alright. Okay, let's try. Seriously, the far camera is not good. I have to switch camera. Okay, this one is good. Okay, steady, steady. Alright, that's fine. Oi, why so dark? Come on, 27, 26, 25. Oh, yes! Aye. Okay, which one is Angel's car? Pick one, pick one. Is it the center? Let's try this one. First try! What is this? Alright, continue. So why they have this get out of jail free card when, you know, the cop race is not even mandatory anymore?
Cool vibrations.
Hey, I saw that run with Angie. When it's clutch time, yeah, you can really hold it together. Hey, Nikki gave me your number and she said you might be looking for more crew. If that's true, meet me at Footy's Diner.
Alright, we have another crew, let's go. Okay, that was pretty quick. Where's the diner? Where's the diner? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, it's pure luck. It's not like we know which one have the pink slip or anything. You can't even guess. So it's pure luck. Yes, it's based on pure luck.
Hey, what's going on? You're not interested? Hey, everyone needs a good blocker, and I'm the best. Just meet me at Footy's Diner.
Yes, I'm coming. Wait for me.
Well. Nice of you to show. Listen, I know you're looking to clear your rep, and you're gonna need some help in order to do that. It's just the race. That night you took off, there was something seriously out of whack. I was there too.
I showed up at the line just to check things out. Everyone was talking about you. Then the 5-0 were everywhere. Then I see the alley's clear. He lets you go, then shuts it up. And the guy driving, he's got a badge on his belt. Bottom line is, the Heat had an agenda, and you took the fall.
That's all there is to it. Thing is, I can see him coming a mile away. Not only will I block him in, but I can mix it up with him too.
Disappoint. And now we got the whole city locked up. That deserves a reward. Let's meet up at the old courthouse.
Okay, so let's find Darius. Alright, Darius, your turns now. Alright, it's gonna be quite hard after this. No more eat Mr. Nice Guy, yeah? Control projectile. So we own the streets now. Alright, that's Darius.
So, the sleuth has figured everything out. You just couldn't leave good enough alone, could you? We were making bundles of cash, you were clearing your name. What more could you want? Well, things have progressed a little further now than I thought possible, and I'm gonna have to cash you out. Mr. Crawl! Come on. I didn't let you take my money the first time. What makes you think this is any different? You actually thought that I would front you the cash to save you from this loser? Then sit around while you were encroaching on my territory? Greed's always been your problem. You've got a lot to learn about the big towns, little man. This city is mine, and it's time for you to disappear again.
It's Cross.
Take us right to my place. Show's over.
Thanks. Glad you changed your mind.
I'm just a bounty hunter. And I always get paid. Just make sure I do.
Look, I hate it when people say I told you so. So here goes. Seems that some of your team was there the night that you left. They tell a different story than the one I've been hearing from Darius. Thing is, their stories seem to add up. Somebody tipped off the cops. Somebody let you escape. And somebody switched the bag. Now I know who that somebody was. Darius likes to pull the strings.
Cool vibrations.
Now here's something he doesn't know about. Part of the deal with Cross is that I race with you. Think you can handle that? You're not the only one with a score to settle. Now, let's get out of here. We got a lot of ground to catch up.
Alright, we have 2 new crews. But who should we fire? Should we use Nikki? Yeah, hire Nikki. Okay. Sorry, Neville. Alright, so what now? Performance. Alright, new turbo.
Cool vibrations.
Domiak Star F, thank you for subscribing, man. Sorry, transition, no, animation distance. Alright, all upgraded.
Cool vibrations.
That's the spoiler. Where's that spoiler? Alright, this one. Alright, let's go find some. Oh, they doesn't unlock all the maps yet. Alright, thank you. Speed trap and checkpoint.
Yeah. What? Nikki did that. Fine. I'm gonna need a crew that's motivated.
What the hell, Kenji got new car? Shit. And here's the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. I gotta have to take that. Okay. Does that mean we have to defeat him all over again? Alright, this area is a bit tricky. Time bonus. Alright. Is it me, all the paint in the car? The paint looks a bit chromy. Looks like chrome. Did I use the chrome? I don't think so. I think just glossy. Alright. Nice one, nice one. Not miss on the shortcut. It's okay, I can catch up. What the hell, the checkpoint is here. Alright, 3 more checkpoints. If the new Need for Speed 2017 looks like carbon, I'm gonna be a happy man. As long as there's gonna be drift, as long as it's gonna be have a story, then I'm good. I'm gonna buy it. I'm even gonna upgrade my PC for that. But if the story is shitty, the drift sucks, then I have to say I won't play anymore. Transmission for tier 3. So how to buy a new car, guys? Where to get the new car?
You think you know this town? You have no idea what's in store for you other than it's gonna hurt.
Run up in the game like 999. Why would you keep saying when you heard tweet he's 999? Guys can be in the game and I swear to buy this 354. Whatever guys can do, feed my flow. Swing all the way from the U to the K, roll the McCartney up to the Tito. Oh, boys, boys, everyone's a bad man. Boys, boys, everyone's a bad man. Summer goes,
Oh, decline. Sorry about that. Alright, next is speed trap. Jump to that. Any problem with the trim, guys? Usually YouTube did that. Suddenly we are against tier 3 car. So we're gonna have to find a tier 3 car after this. Alright, nice one. So maybe I have to change to Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution.
Alright, now you got the lead. Protect it. That's what I like to see. A tunnel, stay left.
It's raining.
There's an alley on the left. Let's take it. Alright, watch the corner. Hey, you'll be seeing a side street on the right.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this? Thank God for the RX-7. The handling is magnificent. Magnific. Oh yeah. Okay.
We'll use that alley on the left.
Alley on the left. Alright, that is it.
That's a mess. Don't let it slow you down.
Alright. Max speed. Alright, finish line.
Alright, big push here, all the way to the finish. Here we go.
What the hell?
I can't believe it.
Alright, if we lose again, we're gonna get a new car. They are particularly using... You see this? It's Evolution. It's all Mitsubishi Evolution. How can you defeat that? So we need a new car. No choice. Alright, cool. Push.
It's coming up. Watch it. Watch it. There's a side street. It's a side street on the right.
Yep, Sonic is my friend. Previously, he streamed Need for Speed Carbon 2. You can check out on the cards on the right. Check out his stream. And don't forget to check out Pen's stream. He played Initial D Street Stage. Sorry, Special Stage. Oh man, this guy is fast.
Attention Patrol Division, we have a report at least one mobile code 6 drivers followed by police. At this time, units are requested to clear and start up to the area.
Oh man, anyone else cross the line yet?
Okay, let's continue. Toyota Supra, okay. Alright. Time to split by cops.
Dispatch, suspect's pulling away. I'm trying to stay with him. I'm in the containment, the vehicle got away.
Members be advised, this suspect was last seen eastbound. A quadrant will be set up around his last known direction of travel.
Okay. So where's the safe house? This one is this one. Car lot, okay. Jump to car lot. Mazda Speed Alpha SLK Eclipse. Nani? Tier 3. Tier 3 is Supra. Oh, okay, I get it. So we have to defeat. We have to get the Tier 3 first. Okay, I get it. Okay, bye Frost. Thank you for watching, man. Checkpoint or canyon? Speed trap. Stream CSGO. That sounds like a good idea. Muhammad Zaki, thank you for subscribing, man. I didn't notice you back there. Sorry. Where's on the right? Where is it? Where is it, Yumi? What the hell? I'm getting raped. Become slow. I can't use this. I have to use a new car. On the right side, where is it? Come on, Yumi, come on. is it? Where is it?
Oh yeah, find him!
Come on. What the hell? Not enough speed, man. We seriously need a faster car. Like, seriously. It's a police. Hell no!
Yeah, they've ID'd your tuner.
Alright, we got speed penalty now. Let's get that Supra. We have no choice.
Okay, got a guy behind you. Stay on it. Here we go.
Dispatch working.
I really thought we had him.
Alright, let's build this.
Catch up with you later.
Bye, Yumi.
Overtaker suspect. 1075.
No, the police chasing. Strike that. What the hell does the cop?
Yeah, we need a quadrant set up on my 20. I've lost him.
Cover unit heading up to the pursuit call. Be advised, this party was last seen heading west. Quadrant has been authorized. Additional units will be provided in detail to the perimeter. Stay tuned for updates.
You need to get in the Supra. Where's the Supra? Alright, Supra. 5 right finish. Okay. What the hell? Street package. It's very stock. Can I win this? Let's try.
Cool vibrations.
Thank you, ResCH, for subscribing. Alright, this is slightly faster. I can feel it. Aya. Another checkpoint. Come on, come on, come on. Faster, faster, faster. Gosh. And we haven't upgraded Supra to the maximum yet. Sorry. No, don't drift now. Nah, that's just for appearance. Does it make any difference? Is changing the rim color gonna add more VHP to the car? I don't think so. Okay, 51 seconds. Last one. After that we go. Bye Ariel, thank you for watching. Canyon. Let's try the speed trap again. Hi Ahmad. Welcome, man. Okay. Alright. Chill. Okay, here we go. What the hell? 215? What? What the hell? Why is this car so fast?
Alright, now you got the lead. Protect it.
430, okay.
Alright, that's it.
But that's Yumi, not mine. Shit. Come on, Yumi, bring me. Carry me to victory, Yumi. That's my guy shit.
That's not good, just go.
632, but that's Yumi, not me. I'm still slow. Right, let's chase the first car.
Stay right, there's a side street coming up. Hey, what happened?
Shit, cops again? What the fuck?
Focus on the finish line.
I can't, Yumi! Speed penalty already.
Just right there, just take him.
Let's do the canyon then.
Yeah, looks like a good time to split up, but good luck with the black and white.
Untouchable finish. Poor guy, sorry.
10-4, Charlie 28. I'm clearing units right now.
He's crashed into the refinery.
No choice, you have to do the canyon.
1075, I can get around it.
What the hell? Still alive? Why is she still alive? This gate is too damn heavy. Fuck it.
Your current direction to travel won't support a roadblock. Reference your PhD girl.
Alright.
We just lost a unit. Echo 13. I'm with the pursuit now. 1033. Get those units
Come on.
over now.
I don't wanna be in this race. I don't wanna be.
Cover units be advised. Suspect was last seen eastbound.
Dispatch, code 6 party located. Reinitiating pursuit.
Bye. Alright.
I have lost a vehicle. Repeat, I have lost a vehicle.
So should I stay here?
With 2 other units, estimate 3 minutes to establish. Dispatch, I got a guy who matches that code 6 description.
The Need for Speed Underground 2 is already finished. Finished already.
Is 1032, but he's on code 6. We're gonna bring him in anyway.
Okay. Let's do the canyon. Hopefully we can win the car. Oh, we're fighting. New car, eh? Alright. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you get. Oof. Let's try overtake him again. Alright. Come on, Wolf, faster. Yeah, scrap the wall. Cancelo rifto. Come back, Wolf. I want to overtake you, Wolf. Come back here. Oh shit. Come on, Wolf. Woo, shit, too fast. Shut up, man, shut up. I'm gonna take your car, man. so scary. So scary. No. No, not so fast. Come back, Wolf, come back. Alright, now is our time to shine. Come on, come on. Come on, cancel the rifto. I can win this, I can win this. What the hell? Not so fast, not so fast. Not so fast. Come on, Supra, I believe in you. Okay, right, chill, chill, chill. Chill, man, chill. 46. Right, last one. After this is all straight. Where's my victory? Where's my victory? 16, 14. Come on, 5, 4, 3. Ah, so close. Okay, so let's try overtake in the first try. Oh, we can push him to the canyon, can we? Can we do that? Grind all the walls. Fucking hell! Come on, come on, come on! Right, I can do this. This is scary. This is scary. This is scary. This is too scary. This is too much. No, 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 no. No, this is not stock. Okay, let's use this camera. Flash! It's gonna take some times. Why I'm playing this game? Why I'm playing this game? I start to question my life decisions. There's no way I can win this, right? Right? But he also crashed the wall, so there must be a way. There must be a way how to win this. Should I win other races first? Yeah, there should be one way. Win other races first, then come back for the canyon duel. Alright. Sounds like a plan! Why doesn't turn? Too fast maybe. Yeah. Suppose. Right, another cornering. It's so fast, it draft its own air. Okay. Okay, so let's hope nothing happened. Should I play safe? Or should I risk it all? Yeah. So close to my tail. What should I do? What should I do? Fuck! come on, come on. I'm so scared. Seriously, guys, help me. I don't want to die, I don't want to die. Come on, 47 points. He's too close on my tail. Alright, that's the chance. Last 13, 12, 10, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Alright, so let's try to win another territory first. Checkpoint, circuit, and sprint. So hopefully we can unlock other parts and then upgrade our Supra. Alright, this one, as long as we cross the finish line, should be okay. Come on, Yumi, come on.
Stay left. Hey, on your right, watch your right.
What the hell, Corvette? What the hell's Corvette doing here? Alright, they crash. Alright. Oh.
We'll use that alley on the left.
Alright, thank you, Yumi. Ah, yeah. Alright, Yumi, go, go, go. Right, nice race.
Alright, it's your turn. Lead us to a win, huh? Watch it, left, left. We can't let it.
Where are they? Where are they? Oh, yo. I go.
Alpine District, be advised. A vehicle moving at a high rate of speed was just seen westbound. I see units in the area on my screen, non-priority calls. Please clear and head up that way.
No, no Corvette. Bad Corvette, bad Corvette.
Caller did not get a clear look at suspect vehicle. Stand by for a description.
There's not much left. We have to push it.
Nearby that location, I'll take that call for you.
Crash, okay. Cool. Yes, we win.
Who's next? Come on, who's next?
No. Alright, so we have turbo, I think. Let's add some turbo. Yep, we have turbo. Alright, so next is checkpoint. No, I won't change the car. This is tier 3 car. I should be able to win with this. Why should I change it? The cash is hard to come by. Oh yeah. Chill guys, chill. Yeah. No, 2 cars. Why suddenly the traffic is become like shit? Time bonus. Okay, 34, alright. Three more checkpoints. Alright, one more. Ah yeah, didn't see it. Shit. One more. Come on. 25 seconds. Alright, there it is.
Cool vibrations.
Oscar Sayago, thank you for subscribing. What's this? What do I unlock? You have unlocked engine tier 3. Okay, nice one. Alright, we have unlocked Subaru. Okay, performance engine. Alright. This will unlock Plymouth Hemikuda. Alright, no need. This will unlock transmission tier 3. Yep, okay. We need this. Look at all these muscles and exotics.
Hey, there's an alley up ahead on the left.
Is Corvette considered as muscle? Or exotics? I think exotics, right? Alright, sprint's good. Come on, Yumi, get on my tail. Nice, Yumi, nice. No, I'm not Chinese. I'm Malay. But sometimes I speak like a Chinese, like yeah, I ping toa, đi con mẹ à. But no, I'm not Chinese. Sorry guys. Oh. I'm a terrorist. Yeah, sometimes. Cops not good. No shit, Yumi. No, Corvette. Bad Corvette. Stay, Corvette, stay. Oh, police, what are you doing?
He just joined the refinery.
I think we need to unlock the skyline first, then we can buy it. The cops are everywhere, what the hell? Come on, Yumi, come on.
Cool vibrations.
Yes. 6-4 for you, thank you for subscribing. Frost, are you Malay too? Ya, kita orang Malaysia ba. Oh iya, cakap biar I cakap Melayu dah lah. Alright, let's go.
10:59. I'm gonna pin him when I get a chance.
I sound stupid when I speak Malay, so I speak in English. Ever heard of that? What the hell, you guys are Malay ah?
Get those units over here now. I have a PC down here. Sierra 16. On scene.
Yeah, the Malaysian has taken over the stream. No more Russians. Do I need Nikki?
2-6. Advise on your situation.
Okay, time to evade this. What the hell? I want to evade, baby. I'm not Sabahan, I'm from Semenanjung. Desa kita perlu dijaga.
You're inbound but a few miles out.
Nama Alif. Confirm lah Melayu. Wangan, maybe after this.
Unit heading up to the code
Oh,
3
we have.
chain. Suspect was last reported eastbound.
Alright, nice one.
Quadrant
Let's
has been
hide.
authorized. Additional units will be provided in detail to the perimeter. Stay tuned for updates.
I lost him. Let's canvas the area.
Alright. So since we're in international, so we speak in English. That's common sense. Right? Right? This will unlock brakes and suspension. This will unlock nitros. Okay, you need this. Jump to event. I need to eat more belacan so I know how to speak Malay. Alright, this canyon. No, this is regular canyon. Okay. This one is pretty straightforward. No difficulty here. Because we have nose. Alright, yeah, swift. Yeah. Any Malaysia streamer here? Make Najib proud, please. Come on, Surah, come on. Nos. Yeah, if this genting Gigi mati. More like Karak Road, you know, the dark place with the yellow Volkswagen. Sorry, is it? Yeah, yellow Volkswagen. Yeah.
Cool vibrations.
Nice, another 1 subscribers. Thank you. Woohoo! Alright, let's upgrade our car. Nissan 350Z. Alright, that's good. No, Pan, what are you doing? Nitros Pro package that we already have. Tires Pro package. We already unlocked it. What will unlock after this? Canyon Tier 3 Pro. Let's try this again. No, I won't change the rim. This is sleeper cars. It's not rice car, okay? Alright, I can feel it. What the hell? No, this is bullshit. No, I can't win this. There's no way I can win that. Circuit, split trap, sprint.
Cool vibrations.
Kinlo, thank you for subscribing. No! There's no effect when you change the rim. Keep the money, man. We're gonna use the money for more, yeah, higher tier cars. In future races.
We'll use that alley on the left. Hey there, where'd you go?
No, no, no. Why is the car so fast? What the hell?
Oh well, too bad. See you in a minute.
Come on, come on. Where's this Lamborghini? I think so.
Hey, wait. Are you watching? He's on your left.
Go, you me, I help block. Guys, don't make me laugh. Did Yumi change her car? It looks like a Subaru, right? That's a Subaru, man. She used a new car. Nice one, Yumi.
Okay, turn coming up. Yeah, stay right, tunnel coming up. Gotta make it move, see? On your right.
Oh yeah. What the fuck? Why's the traffic so heavy?
Hey, you're not helping here.
Ah yeah.
Almost there. Hey, wait a minute, I thought we won.
Let's try again.
Okay, here we go.
Come on.
Alright, that's it.
This one is Mercedes.
Alley up ahead on the left. Shortcuts save you time, you know.
Ah yeah.
He's trying to pass.
Come on, Mercedes, keep up.
Let's take it. Measure me next time, okay? Good.
Kansei Dorifto, yeah. Suddenly the games decided to bring an asshole, said, "Oh, you think you're gonna stream this in 2 episodes? Well, think again." And then decided to be a bitch and make the game hard. Yeah. No. Alright, time to defend this position. What's that? Toge? Win! Toge, okay.
I'm good for another run. Just let me know.
is 11. Okay. This one. Wait, what? Unlock. Unlock achieve turbo tier 3 racing. Alright, let's upgrade our car first. Yes, we have it. Tires, nitrous. You have to keep the money. Circuit and speed trap. Circuit or speed trap? Oh. Unlock nitrous. I need nitrous. What the hell, can chill? Man, this guy is so rich. I just take his DB9 and now he's racing using Murcielago. What the fuck?
You got the idea. Be aggressive. Hey, look up, look up. He's behind you. He's trying to pass on the right.
Hiya! Why the controls?
Nice hit. Go shorter next time.
That one is Ford GT, I think.
Hey, do you see that side street on the right?
No, you mean no. Come on, come on.
Okay, there's an alley coming up.
Shit, cops.
Oh, that guy's close. Just keep going. There should be a tunnel.
Alright, first place.
On the right, the right. Yeah, this is how it's done. What was that?
This is too much.
There's a cop. Hey, watch it, cops.
Come on, just a bit. Just a little bit. Alright, lap 2.
Okay, that's one down.
What the fuck? This cop is annoying. No, no you don't.
No big deal.
Oops, sorry Yumi.
Oh, my vehicle's shutting down on me here. Yeah, drop him back.
Keep going.
I found him. We're country. We just spotted him here. We're moving in.
Alright, shortcut, save time. This is another Corvette.
Dispatch, I'm gonna need a record out here to clean up this mess before traffic starts to back up. We're now in condition 3. Go to condition 3.
Condition 3. Oh man, I'm fuck up. I'm so fuck.
Take that lead. It's yours.
No! What the fuck?
So close. Get out in front early.
This is gonna take a long time. Why, EA? Why? Why you do this to me? Stop making my heart so hard. GG. GG. Alright, it's 2 laps. Release again, what the hell?
Dispatch, Bravo 3-3. With a suspicious vehicle, 2829 negative.
Ah! Sorry, Soccer Mom. Sorry.
Walk me onto a traffic stop.
Yeah, Dave, I did your tutor.
Yeah, this is definitely our guy, code 3.
On your right, you'll see the... There we go, coming up.
Sorry, Soccer Mom. I didn't mean to. But I need to win this. Someone knows. Alright, lap 2. Okay, let's try to avoid accidents.
Echo 8. Update when you can.
Details as stated. Trying to stay with him.
Hold on. Why so suspense? Alright, looking good, no crash so far. Shit. Move, please move. GG. And he keep laughing, what the hell?
There you go, coming up. Oh, come on, that's it, yeah.
Alright. Coming through.
Alright, just a little further.
Come on, Yumi, let's go. Yes. Oh yeah.
You make it look too easy.
Alright, we win. We have nitrous and tires. More territories, alright.
I'll catch you later.
Bye, Yumi. So let's hope I don't reach condition 4. If not, I'm gonna GG.
Sierra 16. Pulling up right behind you.
No. What's this roadblock? Is that the roadblock? Oh no, just Continue running. Yes, it's a Supra Slipway edition.
We'll jump back on him.
Not the Rise edition, mind you. It looks like a stock Supra.
Members, be advised, this suspect was last
Alright, let's go.
northbound. Quadrant has been authorized. Additional units will be provided in detail to the perimeter. Stay tuned for updates.
Please, don't. Alright. Nope. Hey, I don't want.
Okay, here we go.
Don't want this race. Yes, rice package, alright. Nitros, we have rice package, okay. Suspension, not yet. Transmission, no. Engine, also don't. Alright, world map. One checkpoint, speed trap, canyon. Let me zoom in. So drift circuit. Let's try drift. Three more territories. 3 more. What the hell? No! Oh shit. No! Careful. No, too fast, that's too fast. Alright, win! Transmission tier 3 racing, okay. Transmission. Alright, nice. So either canyon or circuit. Engine tier 3 racing. No. Logitech, no! Alright, nice. We have a faster Supra now.
Now you're moving. Nice pass.
Alright. The circuit is like not very long, just 2 or 3 laps. The soundtrack change according to your position. If you're on the last place, then the soundtrack will change. If you're on the first or second place, it will play another songs. What the hell? The police!
I'll go ahead and head up. Closing fast on a vehicle that matches the description.
Okay.
Report party. Hold on while I confirm it's our guy.
Come on, come on, come on.
Yeah, 10-4, 10-4, I got him. Code 3 chase.
Where's the pursuit breaker when you need them?
Okay, there's an alley coming up.
What the hell?
Major collision.
Speed breaker, where are you? Pursuit breaker, where are you?
Get moving, come on.
Just go, you me, don't wait for me. Just go. Alright, nice. Okay, Chun. Yeah, I said Chun, baby.
To Delta 14. Please update. Supervisor monitoring and requesting sit rep.
Yeah, baby. Nice, Yumi, nice. Okay, come on, Yumi, come on.
Might need a record here. Suspect just hit civilian. Might need a tow.
I'm so scared. Oh no. I already finished Most Wanted. You can check my previous stream on my channel. Yeah, I'm a noob. Who hit me? Damn you. Alright, alright. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
You make it
Engine tier 3, okay. Two more.
Oh, you know, I'll catch you later.
Two more, after that Darius is ours. Come on, I wanna end this stream already.
Deploying 1059.
Esok nak puasa.
Advisement to all units. Pursuit is escalated to condition 4.
Woo, condition 4.
We're gonna jump in quick, alright? Position yourself. We're gonna roll it on rocks. Dispatch 1025. I need a bus at my location.
Run, 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 shit. Stop following me.
Give me everything you got, dispatch. Working a hard time with this guy.
Copy, Echo 8. Units have detailed and are en route.
What's that? Alright, almost got busted. I was so lucky. Come on. Better run before condition 5.
I lost visual. Working catch up. Hold on. I have visual. Code 3.
What the hell?
Hold on while I get in front of him.
Need for Speed Pro Street, I haven't played yet. Was thinking to play another Need for Speed series after this, but I'm not so sure. What do you guys think?
Units heading out to the pursuit call. Be advised, suspect was last reported heading eastbound. You have a green light to go ahead and set up a containment.
Run, run, run.
Southeast of your position, move in and check it out.
Already play Underground 2, man. You can check my previous stream. Baru je bang. Pro package, race package, okay. High package. Alright. Canyon or Speed Trap? Canyon, Sprint, Checkpoint. Checkpoint should be okay. Pro Street on the PC. Okay, I will find the installer after this. Thank you for the suggestion, Pen. Hot Pursuit 2010. Not bad. Scratch. Time bonus 50 seconds. Go. Alright. Woohoo! Woohoo! Come on, come on, come on. So heavy. Need for Speed Pro Trade. Okay, good idea. I will try to find the installer legally, of course. Say no to pirates. Arr. Stream using original game, guys. Don't support piracy. Katakan tidak pada cita rompak. Need for Speed Payback. I think it's gonna be like the run, you know, with cinematic and all. They still use the same engine, so yeah, it will feature open world. Macam ni je lah. Imagine Battlefield with cars. That's how it is. Massive open world, but with cars. You have cars. Brakes and suspension, cool. Nah, no need. Customization. Yes, more line. More like Fast and Furious. No, no piracy, please. Don't support the piracy. Use original games. What the hell? YouTube is the best for the stream. Depends on who's your audience is. Some people I know prefer stream on Twitch. Some prefer to stream on YouTube. Will you buy a NFS Payback soon? I'm not sure. I'm gonna see the gameplay first, and if the story is engaging, then only then I will pay for it. If not, then I'm gonna stick it until Steam sales or whatever. I don't wanna buy a game that can be played in like what, 1 or 2 sittings.
Units monitoring.
No.
Driver has outstanding warrants and multiple entries. He was last seen eastbound.
Come on, Yumi, come on. What the hell?
Suspect in a black Supra.
Yeah, they've ID'd your tuner.
Yeah, Yumi, no shit. Yeah, last place now. Let's catch up.
Now you're moving. Nice pass.
Okay, cops.
Look at him. Watch it. Push on the right.
No! What the hell? What is wrong with me? Am I being too sleepy? Why is it so heavy? No.
Stick close to me. This will be easy.
So have you guys heard about, you know, the Origins, the platform for EA? I think for about like what, $6 you can get all the games. I mean $6 a month. You pay monthly $6 a month, then you can enjoy all the EA games. But the thing is, it's like you rent the game. If you don't pay it, then kiss your games goodbye. It's like Spotify but for games. Yeah. Miss. Missed the shortcut again. Sorry, Yumi.
Dispatch, Street Racer, Rip past me. Possible wanted party. Heads up to all units.
Copy. Should be a tunnel right up here.
I got him. I'm filtering.
No.
Attention all units. Attention all units. We have a code 6 party failing to stop for police. Supervisor requesting units on non-priority calls. Switch over to TAC 2 and monitor the chase.
What the hell?
Just right there. Just take him. Take him.
Vehicle just entered a construction site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that was way too close.
12 AM.
Yeah, looks like a good time to split up, but...
No.
I'll take the heat on this one. Let's force him off the road. Hang on here. He's trying to swap paint.
I need to modify my cars to make the car cool down a bit. We don't want too many cops on our ass, don't we?
Please update when you can.
No change out here. You might want to give the other districts a heads up.
Oh, we almost reached position 5. Sorry, condition 5. What's this? Roadblock? Alright.
Driver is not pulling over. Repeat, driver is not going to pull over. Stand by. I'm going to ram it. Vehicle shut down.
Alright, let's go down.
I lost my target.
Officers on the pursuit call. Suspect vehicle was last seen heading westbound. 10 block radius on a...
No.
I'm on him. Let's get everybody over here.
That's the spot. Okay. Alright, so let's modify our car. Pro package, race package, and some aftermarket. So what's the heat level for our car now? Let's change color. I like it bluish. Oh, we have other colors. Metallic, alright, metallic is good. Nice. We still haven't unlocked all. Okay. Dark silver and dark black. Alright, yeah. Nice. Alright, condition 2. Canyon or speed trap? So let's try speed trap. This is an old game but still gold, man. Alright, let's go. Only one race between this and Darius. I need this so much. Alright, so let's get to the first position. Shit, cops again. Alright, cool, man. So let's do the speed penalty to him.
Stay right, there's a side street coming up. Okay, we'll just catch the next one. Nothing to it but to do it.
Oh shit!
There's a cop. Hey, watch it, cop.
Alright.
Oh, it doesn't get much closer than that.
You have unlocked Turbo Tier 3 Pro. Okay. Yes, now we have Skyline GTR. Alright. How about that?
Oh, yeah, you know, I'll catch you later.
CCD closing in on his last known direction.
Come on, come on, come on. Right. The canyon and the city, you got to beat us in both first. No need for Darius to soil his hand. What the hell? Oh, okay. So is Canyon first? Yeah, easy. Too easy, too easy. Alright. So this, we're gonna defeat them in the city, yeah? Oh yeah. %, what the hell? Come on, come on, come on. All right. Yep. Oh no. Now you're gonna unlock. What the fuck? Okay. This one is Prince. Yep. Come on, faster. I'm gonna try Supra first. See how it goes. How long is it? 13%. Shouldn't be long enough. The layout of this city is weird. It's, I don't know, it's kind of out of place. This man. What on my watch? That's a very long track. Alright, good. We got this. Nice. All according to Kikaku. Translator's note: Kikaku means plan. %. Yes, 93%. Oh yeah.
You know I spent that money that you got framed for? I bought Nikki everything that you couldn't.
Alright, Darius time. Come on, Darius. Sorry, Super Evan. Why you hate me? I didn't do anything. Alright, first try. So let's do the canyon.
No one can touch me.
Alright, let's catch Darius. Can't say Dorifto. Please change the camera. Let's hope something happened. Ay, ay, ay. No, restart again. What the fuck? If I lose this, I'm gonna change to Nissan Skyline GTR and see how it goes.
Cool vibrations.
Shit, no.
You gotta want it.
Oh, damn it. Alright, I think I'm gonna change this car. I can't win. There's no way I can win this. No! Alright, let's go. Let's get ourselves a new car. Corvette acceleration handling. Cash value.
Cool vibrations.
Let's get Skyline or Corvette. I'm gonna go with Corvette. Alright, how much was it? What the hell? Not enough money! Let's change from Pro package to brakes to stock. Should we change it? Since we don't use Nitro, we can use the Pro. Still, we need more money. Shit, still. What the hell? Does that mean I have to start winning the races? Alright, does that mean I can... So let's win other races. 500, 500. Two laps. What the hell? Yeah. Alright, so let's try again. This is a bet. I don't know if I can make it, but let's do it anyway. Let's use all pro package. How to sell the cars? Oh, I see. There's it. Alright, here are the controls. Alright, now we have enough money. Nice, okay.
Cool vibrations.
Man, the acceleration is crazy. All right, this is a fast car. Okay, I believe. Man, this guy is so fast. But the handling sucks. Damn, this is crazy. Alright, this car is fast but the handling sucks. So I have to find a way how to make the car turns. But seriously, this car is fast, man. Look at that. It's so OP. What the hell is this? How can I win Darius like this? There's only one way. Does that mean I can't say Dorito? Can't say Dorito. Oh, why are you so fast? Why are you so fast? Damn, son. 4 seconds behind. I'm about to spin. Alright, I finally understand. Okay, I get it now, I get it now. Alright.
You know, I spent that money that you got framed for. I bought Nikki everything that you couldn't.
Alright, let's finish this real quick. No, I am spinning. Stop laughing, man. The hell, I have to corner down. I have to slow down.
Cool vibrations.
This guy is too fast, lol. I need to control it. Learn how to control the car. No. This guy's too fast. Start to drift already.
Cool vibrations.
Come on, man, come on. What the fuck? It doesn't turn, god damn it. Turn, car, turn. Why you don't turn? Turn it. Alright. I can do this, I believe. I believe in myself. And my Corvette. I know what to do.
Cool vibrations.
So we play it slow. I cannot. How to restart? First there's the traffic, and then we have to deal with this Corvette. Oh, we have two problems now. See? This is traffic! Fuck. Let's try to first avoid the traffics, and then try to catch up with Darius. After that we can focus on the canyon. Shit. Ah, shit. No chance. Alright, avoid the traffics. Avoid the traffics, remember that.
No one can touch me.
Alright, let's try something else. Alright, so at least I know the first trick works. Alright, let's crash to the walls. Ah! Ah, shit. Ah, yeah. How to make this car turns? No, it cannot turns. Alright, alright. Let's try it again. I think I can do it. What the hell? I can push. All right.
keys are in the car. Enjoy it while it lasts. There's always someone out there who's a little faster than you are. And sooner or later, they're gonna catch up.
Finally, guys. That was intense. Alright, so I won. Thank you for playing Need for Speed Carbon. You just unlocked 5 new cars, including the Audi Limas Quattro. Give it a try in a quick race. Alright, now you can complete all the reward cards, take on the challenge series, and try to carry another car class. No thanks. I've been streaming for almost like 4 hours now, so I better stop now. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and this is it. This is the end of the career mode for Need for Speed Carbon. So for tomorrow, maybe I'm not streaming, I'm gonna do something else, and after that maybe I'm gonna continue another Need for Speed series. I don't know. Give your ideas in the comment, or you can reach me via YouTube comment or Discord. Pen, can you give me the Discord link after this to them? And yeah, if you want to know what else game I play or we play with Pen and other streamers, just join the Discord channel. Okay, these 2 days has been very stressful. Thank you guys, you guys are awesome. Stay tuned for more. If you like this stream, you can leave a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, you can subscribe so you get notification every time I go live. Alright, so this is it guys. Thank you, seriously, thank you. 47 views, wow, not bad. Okay, this is Hybrid Junkie signing out. See you guys next time. Okay, bye.